In the distant future, shielded from outsiders by a great global barrier on a world not unlike our own, an uneasy peace shatters for a society on the brink. The inevitable war has finally begun, as the forces of the Midway universe and the Vedic planets of the Free Alliance aim to protect their homes and families from the dark forces that arose from the planet Delta. Deltan battlecruisers breach the planetary shield, raining hellfire from the stars above. The dark yellow robot and dark gray robot unleash a ground assault as the machines plunge through the atmosphere, opening fire on the innocent citizens of the Free Alliance. In a panic, Maya rushes to the inner sanctum where she tells her father, Yogi, High Chancellor of the Free Alliance, of the surprise aerial assault. They know there is only one hope to stop the evil Deltans. The fate of the world lies with 5 young warriors sworn to protect the land which all Vedic citizens call home. They are Windman, Iceman, Fire Girl, Ultra One, and Thunderman. Or at least that was the idea. An idea promised by one Bae-jung Bin, apparent president of Future Cyber, Korea's homegrown entry into the plastic robot marketplace. This is the Thunder-Man Robot number 1, or Thunderbot RK-01. Or Master Class Thunder-Man RK-1, depending on where you look on the box. Inside, you'll find a little over a dozen runners with a total of 469 parts that, when assembled, make roughly a master-grade Gundam-sized model kit, clocking in at exactly 222mm according to Future Cyber. For reference, the Master Grade GM Sniper 2 has 309 parts, with 12 unused. With such a huge part count, you would expect supreme detail and excellent posability. Instead, you get joints as limp as leftover nachos marinating in a jar of mayonnaise. You'd also expect an intricately detailed inner frame, but the majority of parts are just rectangles stacked on top of less interesting rectangles. It also has an onion for a head, and the proportions of a telephone pole. Should you feel so inclined, these kits were on sale as low as $9 on Amazon recently. That is, until members of the Gunpla subreddit went and cleared out the remaining stock after I sent one as a gag gift for their Secret Santa exchange. This fire sale price, coming down from as much as $40 at one point, comes as a bit of a surprise, considering that the framework of an entire media franchise was built to promote this thing. Future Cyber, the company behind the Thunderman franchise, goes to great lengths in their promotional material to emphasize the Korean origins of the model kit. From conceptualization in-house in South Korea, to mention of use of LG plastics in the creation of the runners, which, to their credit, feel rather nice. The plastic used for the outer armor has a soft matte texture similar to that of the skin tone parts on a Frame Arms Girl kit, which I promise is not a weird comparison in any way. Future Cyber's president, Bae-jung Bin, would probably take exception with this comparison, however. With so many promotional materials for the Thunderman emphasizing this being an original IP, it's boldly presented as a direct competitor to what Future Cyber calls foreign characters. Someone who I'm fairly certain isn't an actual television presenter sat down with Bae-jung Bin on what I'm fairly certain wasn't an actual television show back in 2016. He shared his frustration about the state-of-the-scale model giant robot landscape and how he, through national pride and maybe cryptocurrency according to his personal YouTube channel's history of liked videos, could take on the plastic robot elite.
우선 간략한 기업 소개 부탁드릴게요.
미국과 일본 후 로봇 캐릭터 시장이 국내를 완전히 잠식하고 어린이 왕국의 유명 기업이 대만에 인수되며 관련 완구 제조가 모두 중국 등으로 넘어가는 등 국내 산업이 해체되는 수준이라 대한민국
So, automatic translation is not the best, but you get the idea.
새로운 한류
The maybe not actually a Korean television feature makes note of Future Cyber's, quote, 6 copyrighted toys, 2 of which being the same Thunderman model kit, displayed using Bandai's Gunpla branded action bases. They continue to emphasize the fact that the toys are internationally trademarked and patented in both Korea and the United States. And indeed, Future Cyber holds a patent for a, quote, dinosaur model with multiple joint assembly with the US Patent and Trademark Office. But nothing for plastic robots. This doesn't stop Future Cyber from proclaiming that the Thunderman is the, quote, first robot pla model on the Thunderman website. Which seems debatable. While the Thunderman might not be patented in the States as its creator claims, it did appear to win an award with the Korea Creative Content Agency for original character design. It was also named Top Gundam Model Kit for sale of 2018 by NoPlaceCalledHome.com, beating out such kits as the Perfect Grade RX-0 Unicorn Gundam Final Battle version, the OWI Magnetic Levitation Express Maglev train, and the 1X Mr. Mark Softer Net 40ml bottle Gundam Hobby. In addition to the model kit, plans seem to be in place for official international distribution of Thunderman merchandise, including a graphic novel and video games. None of which actually happened. Nor did the other 2 kits advertised in the Thunderman's manual. In fact, pretty much all communication about the Thunderman in Future Cyber seems to have dried up by the end of 2016, including on the company's official forums. So what I have gained access to is the official Thunderman forums, and I thought it was very interesting to see that there are 13,000 posts on here, so clearly there is a huge demand for Thunderman content and a massive community that they've been able to build. So let's just take a look at some of these posts here. I'm gonna actually take a look. I wanna see what the first ever post is on the Thunderman forums. It says, "Hi." That's so kind of them. "I wish you eternal development of the company." How nice of them. Let's keep looking. Second post. Asking, "Do I need glue?" I think we can answer that one. The kit does not require any glue for base assembly. Much like Future Cyber's competition, the Thunderman is a snap-fit scale model, which requires no glue or cement for assembly. To its credit, the parts mostly hold tightly in place, without being overly tight like some Chinese knockoff Gundam kits like the Dragon Momoko Death Scythe Hell. Unfortunately, you might want to think about keeping some glue on hand if you want to, say, pose it at all, really. And perhaps to keep small detail parts like pistons and the leg joints from popping out of place, which aren't actually held in by anything. All right, let's take a look at some of the more recent stuff here. What's the most recent thing? Gumi resident suspected cases of flooding. Gumi and Sangju food poisoning, doubt patients increasingly. Detection of pathogenic. That's E. coli. Thunderman model kits languished on Amazon warehouse for months with 1-star ratings, before some guy with a YouTube and Twitch-based media empire and significant delusions of grandeur bought it as a curiosity. When I first got it, no one had even heard of this thing when I asked around, and my build streams were met mostly with reactions of confusion rather than excitement. Future Cyber had a concept they were clearly proud of, and if their factory is any indication, the funds to make it a reality. But alas, the Thunderman failed to gain the international following that Bai Zhengbin and his company saw in the product's future. It seemed that the fledgling, proudly homegrown mecha franchise was gone for good. Until November of 2018. Seemingly out of nowhere, Badgunpla made waves once again, working to revive the Thunderman franchise. A new graphic novel, well, long-form comic really, was released on the internet, and Future Cyber embarked on an ambitious campaign. A marketing ploy that's become a favorite for nostalgia junkies and small businesses that can't afford bank loans. Future Cyber was ready to unleash the Thunderman expanded universe through the miracle of crowdfunding. Through the website Open Trade, Future Cyber offered up stakes in the company in return for an investment in said company over the course of 1 month. Now, I'm no business expert, but I feel like this sort of thing wouldn't be allowed in the States because of stock regulations and whatnot, but that's clearly not the case in South Korea. Their goal was to bring in 50 million Korean won, or about $45,000, through this venture, and with those funds, relaunch their robot model kit business alongside their hobby retail venture, GundamShop.co.kr, which Future Cyber claims serves over 500,000 customers. They tout targeted partnerships with such institutions as the New York Museum of Natural History, Toys R Us in Thailand, MPH Bookstore in Malaysia, and many more. They seemingly neglect to disclose exactly how they'll make these partnerships a reality, but who needs oversight when name-dropping big brands works just as well? They boast about an augmented reality app in development for their dinosaur model kits, which would presumably be funded by this crowdfunding campaign. And they even show off a special coding version of the Thunderman, which I would personally buy in a heartbeat. Buried in the massive business proposal is concept art for a genuinely cute smartphone sticker pack and the intention of licensing their IP to other companies to create television shows, games, stationery, and a theme park. Again, not really showing how they'll actually do these things, but it's really the thought that counts, you see. The campaign closed a couple weeks ago, falling about 10 million won short of meeting their goal. Future Cyber had an idea, but not much of a plan, and that was the downfall of the Thunderman. Ambitious, sure, but so were those steam machines from a few years ago, and how are those doing these days? Having an idea is meaningless without the research and development to back it up. Speaking from experience, announcing something without having a plan to do it does not a sustainable content model make. All Badgunpla has to show for his and his team's effort outside of the online hobby shop is one kit no one's heard of. The Thunderman is perhaps best described as having potential, and I'm willing to bet that once they worked out some of the over-engineering of their kit, they would have a pretty cool and undeniably unique original character they could truly be proud of. And I hope one day they make it there, because I really believe that the hobby community would benefit from more unique designs to go along with our Badgunpla. Keep at it, Future Cyber, and I'll see you next time.